Hi, my name is Alessandro Gangelosi and that's a new tip tutorial coming from cgcookie.com for MaxCookie. This time I'd like to see some feature that can speed up the rendering tuning inside 3ds Max. You know that working on a scene can be complex and really slow when you are trying to achieve the best result for the rendering stuffs. So there's some way to speed up this kind of stuffs, and you know that we can open the rendered window, and you know that we have the area render. So you see that we can render the view, we can render just the selected objects. So the purpose is that I can select this one, launch the render, and you see that we are rendering just this mesh and no other mesh inside the scene. So you see we have just this one, and inside the this possibility we have also the render region, and with the render region we can choose in the viewport or in the rendered window the area we'd like to render. So we can, for example, decide to render this area. Let's go there. We can close the edit region. We can change and work on the rendering presets. It's not a problem. You can do what you like to do, and then we can press render, and you see that we have the rendering just for this area, just for the area we are choosing. So then I can go again in the edit region, and I can move, for example, there, close the render region, and we can render the last render, and you see that we are rendering this area. So you can be really fast tuning to tune the entire scene. We have also the possibility to render a crop or to render a blow up. And if we try, for example, to render a crop, you see that we have again the axis there. If we open the area, you see that we have there a problem, and you see that we have the image output may not match current frame buffer. So let's try to render, and you see that the new frame buffer is this one because the crop is just this area. So we are rendering only this part of the render, and it can be useful when we like, for example, to render a sprite animation or something like that. Then we have the blow up. The blow up is the same. We have to decide an area, and this area will be rendered using the resolution you set there. So let's try using the render button, and you see that it's something like a zoom, a rendered zoom for this area. So we are rendering just a region we selected, but using the full resolution we set before inside the rendering panel. Let's cancel. Then we have other interesting stuffs inside the rendering setup, and to prepare it we can remove the mesh from the scene and work on another. So let's reset. Okay, and I create a really simple scene. So you see I prepare a stupid scene just to understand how it works. And let's create a simple light using, for example, a target light. And we can set the shadows to on, and we can change the hotspot to illuminate the entire scene, and this will be our scene. Let's try to render it to see what happened. You see that's our scene. Let's remove the final gather, and you see that we have the possibility to render the selected mesh. So let's go there, let's select, for example, this one, let's render, and you see that's the rendering. So it's just a render for the teapot. We have the possibility to activate this option inside the mental ray rendering engine. We can choose to render just the pixel we selected. So let's activate it. Let's do again the rendering, and you see that we have the rendering for this mesh, but you see that we have also the shadows. So in the same way, if we try to select, for example, the plane, we can render it, and you see that it's the plane with all the shadows and the mask for the other mesh. So we are rendering just the pixel we selected, not just the mesh, but just the pixel. So we have the reflection, the refraction. Let's make a test. For example, I can create a simple arc and design material, and let's create a gloss varnished wood, and let's assign it. And if we do a normal rendering, let's remove the selected pixel. Let's see what happened. You see that we have also the reflection there. Let's make a copy, and we can remove this one. Let's go there, and let's say that we like to render just the selected. So render this one, and you see that we are rendering just the plane. We have the shadows, we have the mask for the mesh we have inside, and we have also the reflection. So we can tune and work just inside this mesh, and we can continue to tune just this mesh to speed up the rendering. And you see that we are working just over a single mesh, but we see how it looks with all the effects we have inside the scene. And obviously it's faster than using the complete rendering for the complete scene. So that's a really interesting way to accelerate the rendering and the tuning for the scene. And it's really useful. Actually, it's available just for Mentor, but inside 3ds Max we have for the scanline the other stuffs like the render region or the render selected. So you have some way to choose how it works inside 3ds Max to speed up the rendering tuning. So for the moment that's all, and I hope to see you back on Max Cookie to check for new tutorial coming from cgcookie.com. Bye.